Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja.
Former Lagos Governor Bola Tinubu says he made an error in the number of youths he mentioned for recruitment into the Nigerian army. 50,000, not 50 million, he pleads. Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna Diocese, Most Reverend Matthew Ndagoso, calls on security agencies to urgently facilitate the immediate rescue of the kidnapped Catholic priest, Reverend Father Anthony Dawa. Italian military police arrest naval officer on suspicion of serious crimes relating to espionage and state security.
And Prudence Okona with the details of these and more stories. Residents of Kaura Namoda local government area of Zamfara state are lamenting over epileptic electricity supply, which according to them is hampering economic activities. The residents, in a statement issued this Wednesday by the publicity secretary of the Kaura Namoda Focus Forum, Abdulrazak Kaura, said Kaura Namoda, as the second largest city in Zamfara state, has continued to remain in darkness and economic activities at standstill due to incessant power outage over the years. The residents also said the company is keeping them in perpetual darkness and charging them high because they have no option due to the monopoly in electricity distribution in the area. The statement hinted that a business hub, Karana Muda, is now in a sorry state in terms of poor power supply, which has crippled the economy and blocked opportunities for entrepreneurship, thereby increasing the level of unemployment amongst the youths. The firm said the residents are being billed a monthly estimation regardless of whether the power is supplied or not, and the least they are charged is 4,000 naira per household. The forum called on the relevant and concerned authorities to come to their aid and salvage the residents from the traumatic condition so that they can have a sense of belonging as Nigerians. Suspended all surgical operations in the hospital till further notice. The reason for the suspension of the surgeries is due to the lack of water supply to the hospital. The teaching hospital has been experiencing water scarcity in the last few days. Hundreds of patients, in addition, and their relatives have had to go through stress for the lack of potable water in the health facility. Some of the patients who are currently on admission in the hospital said they buy bags of sachet water to bathe and flush the. A relative of one of the patients said doctors in the hospital told his family member that they have suspended surgical operations in the hospital as a result of scarcity of water. The public relations officer of the hospital, Toye Akinrola, when contacted, said that the water scarcity was caused by ongoing renovation in the hospital. He added that the renovation is expected to be completed in the next 3 weeks. Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has assured that the killers of a Catholic priest in the state, Ferdinand Ngugbang, will be arrested. Otom, in a statement issued this Wednesday by his chief press secretary, Teva Akase, condemned the killing of Ngugbang, who, until his death, was in charge of St. Paul's Catholic Church in Ayetwar village of Kasinala local government area. He reassured the people of Kasinala and Sankera in general that the state government will not relent until those responsible for the killing and other attacks in that part of the state are brought to justice. The governor, while wondering why a harmless priest would become the target of reiterated the resolve of his administration not to hand over the state to criminals. He also asked the people of the state to support security operators and useful information while sympathizing with the bereaved family. Governor Tom prayed that God would grant the soul of Reverend Wang internal arrest. Gunmen had, in the early hours of Tuesday, killed the priest and three other parishioners in the Kasinala local government area of the state. According to locals, the gunmen stormed the village called Agus Center in Mbatiola, Mberev Council in the state around 7 a.m. when the church was closing for morning mass. And the Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna Diocese, Most Reverend Matthew Ndagoso, is calling on security agencies to urgently facilitate the immediate rescue of the kidnapped Catholic priest, Reverend Father Anthony Dawa. Reverend Father Dawa was abducted by gunmen in the early hours of Tuesday. The gunmen invaded St. Pius Catholic Church at Kushe Makaranta in Kagako local government area of the state and abducted the priest. They also took away the wife and son of the catechist of the parish and one other person during the operation. Although police authorities are yet to make any statement on the incident. Most Reverend Dagaso says those behind the kidnap have not demanded any ransom. He said the bandits abducted Reverend Father Anthony Dawa at the father's house while the catechist and his son were kidnapped in their house, which is around the church. The Catholic Archbishop lamented the growing insecurity in the country, saying it has led to the deaths of many innocent citizens, while several others are living in fear. He, however, appealed to security agencies to facilitate the immediate rescue of the kidnapped victims. And the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ekiti State Command NSCDC on Tuesday averted what could have led to a clash between farmers and herders in Ikere, Ekiti. The State Commandant Solomon Iyamu told newsmen that the quick intervention of the Agro Ranger unit of the command saved the situation from degenerating into another major crisis. According to him, some cows were found grazing on farmlands in Ikere, Ekiti, and the Agro Ranger unit was called in, and the operatives arrested 16 cows after the herders took to their heels. The state commandant explained that owners of the farms allege that more often than not, herdsmen intimidate them with dangerous weapons whenever they are stopped from encroaching on farmland for the grazing of their cows. He appealed for understanding from herders and their sponsors so that farmers can expect a good harvest. And a high court sitting in Kaduna State has again adjourned the trial of the embattled leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim ELZAKZAKY, and his wife Zinat to May 25, 2021 for the continuation of hearing on the case. During the sitting this Wednesday, the prosecuting counsel, Dari Bayero, finally rested his case by presenting his last witness. He also praised the court to overrule the no-case submission by the defense counsel and to go on and convict the defendants as provided in the law. This brings the total number of witnesses called by the prosecution to 15. Counsel to ELZAKZAKY, Abubakar Marshall, who represented the lead counsel, Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is expected to open his defense during the next adjourned date. He, however, told reporters that he will be entering a no-case submission for the defendants, adding that there is no criminal case so far that has been established against the defendants by the Kaduna state government. ELZAKZAKY and his wife are standing trial on an 8-count charge bordering on alleged culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of the public peace, among others. You're watching Clearview Television News. More stories to come after this break.
Clearview TV is online.
Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News.
We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja.
But the daily 7 p.m. news is broadcast on DSTV channel 255, MITV, with particular reference to gainful employment for all. You can also link up as you like us on Facebook, Clearview Television, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV.
You're welcome back. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo this Wednesday presided over the weekly virtual meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the State House, Abuja, a day after President Muhammadu Buhari left for a 2-week medical checkup in London, United Kingdom. The meeting holding at the council chambers also observed a minute silence in honor of two former ministers, Senator Bode Lowoporoku and Umaru Baba. Those who attended the meeting include the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongonu, retired. The ministers in attendance include those of Transportation, Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, Pa Maman Saleh, Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed, and Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed. Others are ministers of the FCT, Malam Mohammed Bello, Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami. The head of Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Falash Adeyemi Song, as well as other members of the council, are attending the meeting virtually from their various offices in the Federal Capital Territory. Former Lagos State Governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that he made an error while calling for more youths to be drafted into the Nigerian army in a bid to adequately tackle the nation's security challenges. In a communique by his media aide Tunde Rahman, Tinubu stated that contrary to comments made at the colloquium in Kano State where his 69th birthday was celebrated, the intended recommendation was to have 50,000 youths recruited into various national security agencies, including the Nigeria Police Force and the Nigerian Army. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, had on Monday asked the federal government to recruit in his honor. Asiwaju stated that the recruitment move will help regions and stop miscreants from recruiting young people to do their biddings. However, the APC stalwart in his latest statement says the intended council was not to have 50 million youths recruited into the army, but to have 5 million young people drafted into the various sectors, a move that will expedite growth and progress in the nation. And the daily rise in insurgency, kidnappings, and banditry in the country is no longer news. Efforts made by the federal government to arrest the situation have so far been ineffective and left the situation even worse. Lagos State ex-Governor Bola Tinubu at a colloquium to celebrate his 69th birthday in Kano State asked the federal government to recruit at least 50 million youths into the Nigerian army to boost the country's fight against insurgency, kidnappings and banditry, and all forms of internal and external security threats confronting the nation. However, about 24 hours after his statement, Tinubu said he made an error while calling for more youths to be drafted into the army. According to his media aide, Tunde Rahman, the APC national leader was actually seeking the expansion of security personnel by 50,000, not 50 million. This interaction with the public by Clearview TV was recorded before a politician admitted the error. But all the same, 50 million, 50,000. Is this a great idea? Clearview crew was on the streets.
I don't think recruiting soldiers now will be the ideal situation, because you have a lot of them that we are not even taking care of. We could all remember how some of these soldiers they complain about their welfare, they complain about salary, they complain about everything that is accrued to them not being given to them.
Based on what Tinubu said during his birthday, that Nigerians should recruit more soldiers, I think I'll also advise the top leaders too. All the resources that they have gathered to empower those soldiers, not by recruiting soldiers, but by buying ammunitions that will help the soldier, buying sophisticated weapons that will help the soldiers combat this war very well. Not recruiting alone. But if you recruit people and you didn't provide ammunition, then what are you recruiting people for?
My own opinion is for Nigeria to seek international help. And I think that will help to seek the insecurity of this country.
For me, it's a good idea. Even more than 50 million self.
It's a welcome idea. But the number of soldiers involved that he mentioned, 50 million, I guess, is not where how many of us are in Nigeria? And it's not about the numbers of soldiers. It's about how well are they equipped.
Well, I think it's still not right if you are not making proper provision for their insurance, health insurance, even houses, because most of them have to wait before they have houses. So it's not really worth it.
I don't think taking in more soldiers should be the way to go. So I think they should invest more in giving them better artillery, better weapons to combat these people rather than taking in more. They should take care of the ones we already have, empower them more with better equipment.
He has already said his mind. When they recruit more soldiers, it will increase employment and reduce the rate of crime.
Professor Atahiru Jega, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), has urged the federal government to set in motion a machinery for the restructuring of the Nigerian nation before the 2023 general elections. Presenting a paper on Nigeria's Fourth Republic and the dilemma of democratization at a roundtable in Kano, Professor Jega said the federal government cannot afford to ignore agitations by the various groups of the country. If the various groups of the country must achieve greatness, peace, and stability.
Reflecting on the current agitations from the constituent units that make up the Nigerian Federation, Professor Jega admitted that the time has come for the country to consider devolving powers to the state and local government. He said the nation must take restructuring seriously if the divergent ethnic groups must continue to live in peace.
The demands for restructuring, which are being ignored, are creating dissatisfaction and even conflicts, which, if not addressed, can negatively affect the way in which we democratize. I feel that it is possible between now and 2023 to do a restructuring defined in terms of devolution of responsibilities, power, and resources from federal to state and local governments. Right now, our constitution has concentrated power and resources in the federal government.
Other speakers at the event said, beyond the need for the restructuring of the country, the government also needs to address the brazen corruption in the system.
We're saying that corruption has become endemic in Nigeria, just like malignant cancer. Something has to be done before it hits the country. I don't mean disintegration of the country. In a society where corruption is very endemic, that society cannot develop.
Major issue now in Nigeria is the restructuring, and as you can see from the discussion during the morning session, the issue has been addressed very well. Several options are being given. The most important thing is we must have a Nigeria.
Apart from devolving powers to the states, participants also stressed the need for the local government council to be strengthened to meet the aspirations of the people.
The Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has expressed optimism that Bola Tinubu, national leader of the All Progressives Congress (APC), would be part of those to enthrone a youthful president in 2023. Bello expressed hope that Tinubu would see reason and allow youth to lead Nigeria. He spoke while responding to a question on who would make a better president between him and Tinubu. Featuring on BBC Nigeria, the governor described Tinubu as a revered, well-respected leader, smart mentor, and a wonderful kingmaker. Bello said he believed in the judgment of Tinubu, whom he knows would love to have Nigeria on auto cruise very soon. And the presidency says President Muhammadu Buhari has only traveled to the United Kingdom for a routine medical checkup. The presidential aide to the president, Buhari, Garba Shehu, noted that there was no serious condition that prompted the president's trip. President Buhari departed the for the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja at about 2:30 p.m., after which he proceeded to London for a routine medical checkup. Since assuming office, he has embarked on several trips to the United Kingdom to seek medical care, but he has not been to the country since out of the country since the outbreak of the COVID COVID-19 pandemic. The presidency said the president, who met with the service chiefs before he traveled, was expected back in the country in the second week of April. And the money laundering trial of a former governor of Niger State, Muazu Babangida Aliyu, and two others, Tanko Beji and Umar Mohammed Nasco, continued on Tuesday, March 30, 2021, with the first prosecution witness, Mohammed Duwaye and Madu, telling the court that auditors could not trace the address of contractors that received about 1.7 billion naira from the Niger state government in 2014. Madu, a retired Auditor General of the state from 2007 to 2020, who was led in evidence by the prosecution counsel Farouk Abdullah, told the court that his responsibility as Auditor General was to audit the books of accounts of the state. The witness said that in the course of auditing the accounts of the state for the year 2014, they discovered that about 1.7 billion naira, which was received by the Ministry of Environment in the state, was split and paid to three contractors. According to the PW1, the 2014 report, which is in a booklet, Auditor General and the account of Niger State to this time out.
Clearview TV is online.
Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News.
We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja.
But the daily 7 p.m. news is broadcast on DSTV channel 255, MITV, with particular reference to gainful employment for all. You can also link up as you like us on Facebook, Clearview Television, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV.
Welcome back. The future of Nigeria's economy rests squarely with its young entrepreneurs, and as such, the federal government will do all it can to support youths engaged in businesses to succeed in their endeavors. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who stated this, added that the federal government has so far spent 1.2 billion naira to support micro, small, and medium enterprises in the education sector in Gombe State. The vice president said no fewer than 9,085 employees have benefited from the scheme, including 10,000 artisans and transporters.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's visit to Gombe is to unveil the 27 National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic. The entrepreneurship program, which was initiated by the Nigerian government, is targeted at empowering youths across the country.
The strength of the economy of this state and our nation is in the innovative prowess and entrepreneurship of our young people. We have both talent and human resources in abundance. So today, we are witnessing an important development in our national life.
The latest Medan NBS survey indicates Nigeria's MSMEs contribute nearly 50% of the country's GDP and account for over 80% of employment in the country.
Already, the state government has incorporated the entrepreneurship program in its long-term development plans.
The recently launched 10-year development agenda for Gombe State identified the MSME subsector as an important driver of economic and social advancement.
With a few days to this year's Easter celebration, Christians in Nigeria are already in the mood to mark another significant event in the history of the Christendom. In Nigeria, the occasion provides yet another opportunity for both Christians and non-Christians to celebrate the event with pomp and pageantry. Ahead of the festivity, Clearview TV's camera crew, led by Florence Joshua, was at the Gariki Market in Abuja City for a survey of the prices of foodstuffs and other items needed to make the celebration a joyous one.
The season of Easter is here, and what is sometimes constant in this season is a hike in prices of foodstuff and livestock. The consumption of chicken is usually higher, and Clearview TV did a market survey at Garki Market, Abuja. Chairman Mr. Ozigi in Garki Market, who said chicken may be difficult for Nigeria to buy. This is due to the hike in feeders, which in turn affects the price of chicken.
The price of chicken, the layers is 2,000 naira now. Normally it's 171. Because of Easter, there is addition from farm. So we are selling at 2,000. The feed we are buying at 30,000, 4,000 naira is now 6,000 naira. So in fact, it's so difficult for us. And you can see some cage, there's not enough chicken. Before, normally, if there is occasion like this, you see everywhere full of chicken. But now, no money. We are just managing everything.
Apart from the Easter and coming, price of meat have been increased. Now we can buy a cow, a single cow, 700,000, 600,000, 650,000, 500,000. It's not good. We beg the government to settle the case they have with the S-men.
Clearview TV crew also asked both buyers and sellers how the market is faring. While the retailers are complaining of hiking the prices by the wholesalers, their customers, on the other hand, are complaining of the increase in the prices of foodstuff. For instance, a pack of spaghetti that was formerly 4,600 naira is now 4,800 naira. Price of meat has skyrocketed. However, rice is down from 28,000 naira to 27,000 naira per bag.
Semo is adding, spaghetti is adding, sugar is adding, but only rice is go down. We dey buy rice pouring from 29 now to 28. But that small semonvita, semolina, all they increase. At least every day if you go buy, you go see 100 naira they add, 200 naira they add.
We have Ijebu, the one that came from Ondo State. Bag of that one is 20,000. Then we have yellow one. We used to go to Edo State, Delta State. The one from Edo State, we sell it 24,000 naira.
I came to the market with a list, and the prices on the list is just different from what I got. So as if everything just doubled, and I have to be bargaining. So the prices have actually increased. Yeah, the semo, for instance, now what they wrote for me, the 5 kg, it was not up to 2,000, but coming to the market now, it's over 2,000 plus. And other things as well, even the meat, even everything on this list, the prices are not the same. It's actually increased.
As you're out there shopping for the Easter celebration, Clearview TV hopes that you will make the best choice to suit your family's pocket. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview TV.
And on the foreign scene, an Italian Navy officer has been arrested while being caught in the act of handing secret documents to a Russian military official. The men were stopped by military police on suspicion of serious crimes relating to espionage and state security. The Russian, who reportedly worked at the Russian embassy in Italy, is expected to be expelled. Russia's ambassador Sergei Razov has been summoned to the foreign ministry in Rome, a police statement said. The Carabinieri del Ross Special Operations Group swooped on the men in Rome on Tuesday evening during a clandestine meeting between the two, caught immediately after the transfer of a document by the Italian officer in exchange for a sum of money. The Italian is described as being the captain of a frigate, and the Russian officer's diplomatic status is currently being assessed. The Russian embassy confirmed the involvement of a military attaché official, but said any further comment was inappropriate, adding that it hoped the incident would not affect relations. Italy's Corriere website reports that papers seized in the naval officer's flat suggest he may have passed on NATO secrets, thereby placing other countries' national security at risk. And Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro is facing the biggest crisis of his presidency after the heads of the Army, Navy, and Air Force and the country recorded its highest daily COVID-19. The unprecedented resignation of the defense chiefs is being seen protest at attempts by Bolsonaro to exert undue control over the military. Bolsonaro's popularity has plummeted over his response to COVID-19. Nearly 314,000 people have died, with a new daily record of 3,780 on Tuesday, as well as nationwide high record numbers of daily COVID deaths were all registered in 3 states: in Sao Paulo, Brazil's most populous state, in the northeastern state of Paraíba, and in the capital, Brasilia. Worldwide, Brazil has the second highest number of total confirmed COVID cases, with more than 12.6 million. Only the United States has more. Fears have been voiced that the country could become a threat to global public health. Brazil's leading health institute, Fiocruz, said last week that there had been a steep increase in cases among young adults. It said that intensive care units had reported a rising number of admissions of younger patients with COVID and a higher number of deaths in this younger age group. That'll be all. But before we go, a look at our top stories. I will sin no more. Former Lagos State Governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has pleaded for forgiveness in the number of youths he suggested for recruitment into the Nigerian army. He admitted this error while calling for more drafted into the Nigerian army in a bid to adequately tackle the nation's security challenges. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress had on Monday asked the federal government to recruit 50 million youths into the Nigerian army. The Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna Diocese, Most Reverend Matthew Ndangoso, has called on security agencies to urgently facilitate the immediate rescue of the kidnapped Catholic priest, Reverend Father Anthony Dawa. Gunmen invaded St. Pius Catholic Church at Kushe Makaranta in the Kagako local government area of the state and abducted the priest. They also took away the wife and son of the catechist of the parish. We also told you that an Italian Navy officer has been arrested while being caught in the act of handing secret documents to a Russian military official. The men were stopped by military police on suspicion of serious crimes relating to espionage and state security. Remember, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview TV, like us on Facebook at Clearview Television, follow us on Instagram at Clearview TV_NG. You can follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. I'm Prudence Okona. Many thanks for joining us.